On the flip side, we're gonna wump a league. We're gonna wump a league. We're gonna wump and jump and run around the stump because we're gonna wump a league. It is not called Wumpa League. Everybody, welcome to Kev Plays. This is part 43 of Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Part 18 of Spyro Year of the Dragon. Game Awards just happened. Crash Team Rumble, baby. I like the name much better than Wumpa League, I have to say. I'm sure they'll incorporate the name Wumpa League in some way, like within the game at some point. Maybe it's like part of like the story or something. But I'm very excited. Yeah, absolutely. Same acronym as CTR, which is pretty bold, as Crash Team Racing, you know, being CTR. But I think I think the Crash Team blank title works very well for Crash. Yeah, for all we know, Wumpa League probably is a game mode. Oh, what am I doing? I'm doing like laps around here. I should go back. But yeah, another Toys for Bob installment. That goes against my theory that Beanox was next on. I mean, I know that Toys for Bob was always kind of like they're taking over Crash Bandicoot now, so I know that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Beanox is involved in some way in terms of it being a multiplayer focused game. Oh yeah, I'm getting it. Absolutely. Toys for Bob, they're knocking it out of the park. And another good, good addition to the franchise! Oh my god. I have to say though, I feel like when I first saw it, I was very excited. But I'm wondering if part of that excitement has to do with relief. That it's finally out in the... It finally exists in concrete reality. Like, we don't have to theorize about the concept of it anymore. We know it exists. At this point, though, I want to know more about it. From what I understand, it's 4v4... Oh my god, again. It's a 4v4, kind of like a squad-based... I guess like competition type game where you're trying to like score your Wumpa fruits or collect Wumpa fruits and get into your goal or something. I've seen a lot of mixed opinions on CTR Rumble. That's the thing, is I can't deny the fact that I'm excited that Crash is back and that the whole the train, the hype train is back for, you know, whether it's going to be Crash, Spyro, Tony Hawk. We finally have another link in the chain that's continuing since the Insane Trilogy really kicked this stuff off. You know, then we had Reignited, and then Nitro Fuel, then Tony Hawk 1+. Oh my god, I really can't do this. Tony Hawk 1+2, and then Crash 4. Now it's continuing. You know, all the COVID stuff, every Activision acquisition, nothing is really getting in the way anymore. They're actually bringing this out next year, so I think it's a good sign that we can expect more games of this caliber to be coming out on a yearly basis again, probably. You know, maybe Spyro 4 will be announced at some point. But I hate to say, I'm not used to this genre. I think one of the... Oh my god, this is what happens when I'm talking while I'm trying to glide. Not many of these Crash fans are interested in 4v4 multiplayer games. That's the thing. The thing that drove me very much to play CTRs online is those Grand Prix. And what really... One of the main factors that drew me is that it's a game that I've been playing since 1999, and I have so much history with it, so much lineage with it. My sister adores the game. We have a shared bond over it. You know, there's so much there that I was like, you know what, I need to get... This is one of those games I need to grind. I need to get every single collectible, everything that I can get from the what the online has to offer. And yeah, also it was the novelty of, like, I'm playing Crash Team Racing online. This is amazing. Like, I can't believe I'm playing against players around the world that are as good as me, or even better. With this, there's nothing tying me to what this game even is. I don't even know what the game really even is yet. I don't... You know, one of the concerns I have is there going to be any offline component at all, or is this going to be another game I'm going to have to add to my PS5 library where it's online only? That being Chivalry 2 and Riders Republic, and you know how there seems to be a lot of online required games, or exclusively online games that are becoming more of a thing in this generation. But I can't complain. Like, compared to On the Run, Crash Bandicoot On the Run, which is a mobile game, and that's just something that I'm not part of, like, the mobile ecosystem at all. I'm still much more closer to this online game. I'm still gonna pick it up, obviously, regardless of what the reviews are or anything. I think it's still in the spirit of Crash 4's kind of like platforming and everything. It looks like. And keep in mind, when Crash 4 was announced, and if you go back to when I was playing CTR Nitro Fueled on Kev Plays, like on my stream, when Crash 4 was first announced, I actually had some gripes about it. I was like, I don't know, this looked like the designs looked different. Like, I was going over every little, you know, tired detail of, like, oh, you know, like, they're changing it from the Insane Trilogy. I don't know exactly what to expect with this. But I knew that there was potential with that game. And now that game is one of my favorite games of the PS4 generation, without a doubt. Let's go back to... Since we're talking about Crash so much, let's go back to the... Let's go to Sheila's thing, which is actually Crash Bandicoot inspired, which is over here. But, you know, Crash Bandicoot 4 totally surprised me, so I don't know. Maybe Crash Team Rumble will surprise me. You know, because I'm not totally against multiplayer in any sense. I really love Chivalry 2. I really love Ghost of Tsushima's multiplayer. Those are games outside of that are new IP that I've actually like been addicted to their multiplayer. So if they can really focus on multiplayer and really make it better than the servers that were on CTR Nitro Fueled, like really make it strong and worth it and stable, this could be a fun thing. I'm always open to new genres, new ways to play. As long as it's on my console, that's already a step ahead. Let's see what Sheila has to say. Come on in, Sheila. Yeah, we definitely need stable online if they're gonna make me grind for cosmetics and characters and maybe new battlegrounds or whatever. I can't be dealing with like the internet dropping or whatever, or like the, you know, lag and all that. Let's see what we got here.
Hi, Spyro. Haven't seen you in a while. I'm just off for a bit of a walkabout right now. You know, sometimes you just long for the simple, old-fashioned pleasures of yesteryear, don't you?
Exactly. See, Sheila is referring to a walkabout. Walkabout is something that is a very Australian thing, and she's a kangaroo, and we're gonna go back to the old days of yesteryear here. And here we are. This is basically like a Crash Bandicoot inspired level. Because CTR is, and it absolutely, it's still kind of broken. That's why I'm grateful that I actually got I got everything from every Grand Prix, and then I'm done. It's just like I don't need to be in there anymore. Oh my god. I gotta get used to my jump when I land, like that, okay. But yeah, and I know that they're definitely gonna add to that roster. Right now, it's only like an 8-player roster. It looks like it's Crash, Dingodile, Cortex, Embryo, Tawna, Cat Bat, who I don't know who the hell that is really, but I remember that being like a concept art thing, in like the Crash 4 book or something. Who else? Oh, and Coco, obviously. I'm sure Engine's going to be in there, because I'm sure any CTR character is going to be... Oh, yeah, Femtropy. I'm sure Entropy will be there. I know Ripperoo is already kind of... was revealed to be in this game by that guy Jez, who was talking about the game on his podcast. Or on a podcast, I forget which podcast. So I'm sure they're gonna add more to it. We only saw like the bare bones of what this game is. Oh yeah, and honestly, I have so much faith that they'll do good by us when it comes to a good roster. Because look at what CTR Nitro Field is. It's basically like the Smash of kart racers, pretty much. But yeah, and another thing, like, what I hope they incorporate too, which would be cool as like a power up or like some type of like level, like maybe like a thing that's tied to a certain level or a certain portion of the level, is I hope they bring the Quantum Mask into it, and make the gameplay really like topsy turvy, where you get like that maybe the upside the center of gravity being reversed, or the Lonnie Loli with like the platforms disappearing or reappearing. Maybe you can control it and make other characters like fall through the floor if you have control over the mask or whatever. That'd be like there's so much fun things that they can do with this that we probably never really would get in any other game if it wasn't for this for like the groundwork they've already laid out. Oh my god, oops. But I'm glad that Crash is experimenting with new genres, new types of, they've always done the kart racer thing. They've strayed away from like the linear stuff before with I think like with like the more arena stuff from like Mind Over Mutant and all that. But I think Crash has always worked as a very linear platformer. So I'm hoping that they can, because I know the developers are smart with Crash 4, that I hope they can incorporate the same type of concept to a multiplayer game with the platforming, and let it be, this other thing that it can be, like this brawler type competition type thing. And I'm glad that they are not doing like a Crash Bash remake. I'm glad that never, because Crash Bash was not it's a nostalgic game, but it's not a beloved powerhouse game that was CTR. I'm glad that they're doing something new, that they didn't feel the need to just keep the remake train going. Oh my god. Oops. That was my last I could use an Aku Aku right now that Sparks is gone. Do you think CTR Rumble is going to flop? Well, that's the thing. Because of how mixed reactions there are, I think we still need to see more of it. Like, think of it. I don't think Crash 4 was advertised as being as big of a seller as the Insane Trilogy was, or as Nitro Field was. I think Nitro Field and Insane Trilogy, respectively, each on their own, got to like 10 million plus copies sold. I don't think Crash 4 reached that, or at least they have not really like flouted that, or any numbers or any achievements from that. Because I know they did with Tony Hawk. They said Tony Hawk sold 10 plus. It's the fastest selling Tony Hawk game ever. It sold 10 plus million copies. I don't think Spyro ever got revealed to what their numbers were, and maybe that's why we haven't really seen a Spyro yet. I'm sure there's gonna be a new Spyro, but the thing is, with Crash 4, as great as it was, I don't think it hit 10 million, or at least as fast as it, or sold as fast as the other games. So CTR Rumble's a more niche genre, more multiplayer focused. It's good that they showed it off at the Game Awards where more people can. Oh man, Sheila just died. All right. It's good that more people can see it at the Game Awards where people who aren't really familiar with just, you know, oh, here's a PlayStation showcase. I'm just gonna watch I'm a PlayStation fan, so I'll just watch the PlayStation showcase. Or an Xbox fan who just wants to watch their Xbox showcase. This is kind of like the big event of the year where everyone can kind of see what games are going to be available. So it's good that they got that reveal. Oh my god, I keep over jumping. There we are. It's good that they got that reveal in a more broad on a more broad stage, you know, to show it. But I don't know. I don't think it's gonna flop in terms of. Here's the thing. I don't think it matters how much they sell. I think it matters how consistent their player base is. So if people are going to be playing this game consistently and they can really make a competition out of it, I think there will be a really good stable following to this game if they can pull off a really excellent multiplayer game. If the game can speak for itself and be great on its own, then it might have a chance. Oh my god, I'm not doing so good with her. Oh my god, I keep messing up my big jump here. All right. Oh my god. I keep, like, the timing for this super jump is just not good for me. But I hope to see some, like, at the next, like, big video game showcase, like whatever the event is. I forget what's the next one. I'm sure it's gonna be like in the springtime or at some point. I hope we get a little bit more of a tease or more of a more expanding on what this game really can be or what it is. Because at the moment, I feel like I'm more relieved that it's out and that we can talk about it a bit, but I'm not really, like, going too crazy about it just yet. Like, I'm not, like, you know, and I feel like that can change on a dime, as long as I can get a better idea. What I'm really hoping for is that there's some offline content that I can grind in the online multiplayer for. That way I can achieve things that I can use in, like, an offline multiplayer or an offline story or whatever. That would be cool. Oh my god. There we go. Alright, we're doing better now. This is very Crash Bandicoot right here, though. Definitely what Sheila was alluding to. What did you think of the? Oh yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed this show. They had the two big things that really were the big things for me was, like I said, Horizon Forbidden West got their DLC. Just like Horizon Zero Dawn did in 2017, in the later, I think it was at the Game Awards. It was announced like Frozen Wilds for Horizon Zero Dawn, but this is Burning Shores. It's PS5 exclusive, so it won't actually be on PS4. So I'm glad that PS5 games are starting to get away from the whole, like, cross generation, so that we can kind of have a little bit more of a reason as to why we bought these consoles to begin with. I always knew there would be an overlap between generations, but I'm glad they're starting to get away from it, and bring us some, like, exclusive content for PlayStation. So there's that. I'm very excited. I've been itching to play some more Horizon if there was a reason that called for it. Yeah, it should be cool. and I want to see what they can do with the PS5. Like, why would this be PS5 exclusive? Is it just because they're locking the content out of PS4 and trying to move on, or is it something like a Rift Apart, like a Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart situation where they can only do this on a PS5, like the whole universe jumping that Rift Apart did, or not that I'm saying Horizon would do that specific thing, but maybe there's something else that the PS5 is capable of that can help this DLC explain why it would only be exclusive. But there's that, and then there was Death Stranding 2, which I was not expecting. I knew that there was rumors that I knew Kojima was going to have a presence, and I knew it wasn't just going to be about a podcast this time. I had a feeling that he was ready to reveal a new game. I know people were speculating that there might be like even though he wouldn't be involved in it because this would be a Konami thing, but I think there was rumors that there was going to be a Metal Gear Solid remake or something, or something with Metal Gear Solid, but obviously Kojima wouldn't have been a part of that, I don't think, at all. But yeah, Death Stranding 2. Well, the thing is, when they started to show that this is a Kojima thing, I was like, is this Death Stranding? Because I knew there was also a thing where Kojima is working with Microsoft to make a game for them exclusively, I believe. So at first I was like, oh, Death Stranding 2. Oh, this is Death Stranding 2, okay. But then I was like thinking in the back of my head, I was like, are they going to do this thing? Is Kojima going to be really strange and say this is only on Xbox? Just to, like, troll, like, half... I was like, no, he's not going to do that. And it ended up being just another great PS5 exclusive we can expect. I don't think they gave not a release date, but they didn't even give, like, a what year it may come out, but it's another game other than Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine now that I can add to the list of games that I'll be excited for. I did not see DS2 coming. Yeah, I did not see it coming at all. Honestly, Sony had a huge presence here that I was not expecting. Pete. They had a huge presence here because they also showed off like Final Fantasy 16, I think, or something. Which I'm not really a Final Fantasy guy. I think you are, right? And that's a bit. I forget if that's supposed to be an exclusive game or not, or maybe a timed exclusive for Sony. But there was that. There was also another game by Ken Levine who did the BioShock games, and he's supposed to be he's another like auteur type developer, creative director. He like what he did with BioShock has always been praised, but he actually revealed a new game called Judas. I've never played any of his games, so I still have to get the BioShock collection at some point. But it was cool to see he made a presence and to reveal like a big game like that. I only played Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I would like to play the others. Yeah, okay. I think there's a hole over here that I can get to for another mini game thing. But yeah. What else did they reveal? I mean, they showed that another scene for Super Mario movie, which looked cool. That movie looks good. Honestly, I think Chris Pratt's actually, like, you can see little inflections in the way he performs the part, that it's not just his voice. It's not just him using his generic voice. Like, I'm kind of past the point where I'm like, oh, why did they have to get Chris Pratt? Like, he seems like he's doing a serviceable job for that. My favorite part of oh my god. My favorite part was when Bill Clinton won Game of the... Oh my god. What was that? For me, I totally... when I saw Elden Ring, when they won, which I'm glad they won, I was that wasn't a surprise to me. I was like, you know what? Elden Ring was a big talked about game for a game that not even... I don't even play any type of From Software games like Dark Souls or anything, and I knew how talked about that game was. Like, that really was a big, groundbreaking game for the year. So I'm glad they won. But I was listening to his speech, and I didn't think anything of it. And I think that kid, he came up and he said whatever he said, and in the moment when I was watching, I didn't even think twice about it. I think I was looking at my phone, just like looking at or like looking at Twitter at that point. So I totally like went over my head. But then I see people are talking about this like Bill Clinton kid, and then I see Jeff Keighley says, "Oh, the kid was arrested," and I'm like, "What happened?" Like, so I went back and I was like, "Oh my god, what is happening?" Honestly, it's really strange that happened. I'm sure it's just like an inside joke. Like, cause I don't know. I heard rumors that like the guy is like an activist, or he's like a 15-year-old activist or something. He's been on like on really like, you know, extreme type of programs like InfoWars and stuff before, and what have you. But I don't know. I don't know what to make of what he what that was, but it kind of was a dick move for, you know, the developers for Elden Ring to kind of get trolled like that in a way, like to be part of this like meme now when it's kind of taking away. But you know what? Screw it. Like, these award shows are so, they could be so formulaic, and it's all about advertising anyway. So if something weird and quirky and interesting can happen like that, then what the hell? I miss the old days of like E3 where really strange stuff happened on stage. Which is kind of why I liked Crash Bandicoot just crashing the Game Awards like the way he did, coming down like on a harness from the ceiling. I love that, just like cringy, quirky, fun stuff like that they do. But yeah, you know, yeah, it kind of sucked that Elden Ring was overshadowed. Yeah, because that's all everyone's talking about is this kid now. But you know, Elden Ring winning Game of the Year, much deserved, I think. Just from a cultural standpoint, I haven't played the game. I know that. Oh, what is this? Oh, I have to go. Oh, we got water here. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad they won. God of War still won a lot. God of War won like 6 awards. And Christopher Judge had probably the longest longest awards winning speech I've ever seen, to the point where I was like rolling my eyes at that point. I was like, I don't know if he was like drinking or something, or if he was just like overwhelmed with emotion, but I don't know. It was kind of funny though, because Al Pacino was there to begin with to announce him, and Al Pacino just like didn't seem to understand what was going on at all, like just at all, like regardless of whether Christopher Judge was up there for. But yeah, God of War did really 2 awards. I forgot which ones they were exactly. I forgot if it was like level design, art design, or level design, or something. I don't know. I forget. Oh, we got our Manta Ray back. Let's see what Hunter has to say.
I've been training my new pet Manta Ray to carry the latest technology. Super high impact underwater missile launchers. Wanna ride him and try blasting some sharks?
Alright. Let's blast some sharks. Yeah, I know. That's the thing, is I'm glad that he won. I was kind of rooting for Sonny to win, who played Atreus. Because, honestly, like, from what I've played so far in God of War, there's a scene with Atreus that actually got me a little, like, it got me a little emotional, like you know. But both, honestly, like that goes for both of them. But you know, for the kid actor to actually get to me, means he gave a moving performance, and you know he deserves that. But yeah, I'm glad he won. But yeah, oh my god, 10 minutes straight, I was just like, and you could tell Jeff Keighley was just like seething. You could tell. I love how there's always a moment in the Game Awards where Jeff Keighley is just like, he has this like fake smile, but you could tell like he's really like pissed off, like something unplanned happened, or something went against the schedule of what he's trying to do with the show. Yeah, he was pissed. Oh god, got another notification. Hopefully it doesn't crap out on me. Let's say no. Ride the manta ray and shoot the sharks.
What? You're not afraid of a few robotic sharks, are you? Or is it the Rhinox with ultra-explosive JX5 tracking ammo that have you worried?
It's the JX5, that's for sure.
I've been training my new pet manta ray. Just
All right,
watch
let's
out
go.
for the shark riders. They're carrying the latest JX5 underwater tracking ammunition.
I think Hunter just likes name-dropping JX5. Whatever the hell that means. But I'm glad Stray won some awards. I'm glad that God of War got its recognition. I'm glad that Elden Ring got its due in the end, because for a while I was like, wow, they're really kind of like just ignoring Elden Ring for like a long portion of the show. But it is kind of weird that Horizon still gets snubbed. Well, I mean, they got nominated, so I shouldn't complain. Just to get nominated is great enough. Not that, you know, not that there was many great games this year other than, but I don't know.
Scare off my new pet. Ready to try again?
I'll try again.
Right on. Go get him.
Because I feel like Horizon Zero Dawn got shafted too. Like, they didn't win any awards, I don't think, in 2017. And that's the thing, you know what, like, if it was for best narrative, I think God of War still deserves it more than Horizon, even though I enjoyed the story of Horizon. There was a little bit bloated parts in the story, a lot of dialogue trees to sift through that kind of caused the pacing to be a little off, but it's still a great game. I do think there was a kind of a problem with Aloy's character in this one compared to the first one. Nothing too glaring, but there was just something weird the way there was something that happens with her character that never really gets addressed, that I feel like was more of a bad writing decision for the bad character writing than an intentional thing. But that's just my own personal gripe. I won't really go into detail, I guess. But, I don't know, like, because Aloy kind of gets this, like, very selfish, I need to be the hero of the story, and you think that's going to be part of the story, that she's being kind of like a, you know, kind of getting it too much of it into her head of how much legacy she has as, like, a savior to her people, and you think that's going to be part of the story, but it just never kind of gets addressed, and then it just becomes this thing where it's like, oh, I guess she just, like, just the character is just kind of full of themselves a bit, but that's just like a nitpick, really. But I think Ashley Birch, she played two different characters in that game, so her performance was definitely worthy of nomination.
Nice shooting, comrade. Where'd you learn to aim like that? Oh, by the way, Bianca wanted me to give you this egg. She says she accidentally turned it into a woolly mammoth for 5 minutes, but it should still be okay.
I love that Hunter and Bianca are like an item now. And technically, we didn't know that they were gonna... Well, we always knew they were gonna hook up or whatever, but we didn't know... like, technically, I could have played the boss after playing this thing, and it's just like... I guess the writing's on the wall that they are pretty much a couple at this point. Sadie. Another weird thing that happened at this show was there was really no Xbox presence. They showed Phil Spencer in the audience at one point, and he didn't seem like he was having it. Because I think it was like on the day of the Game Awards, the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, announced that they were suing Microsoft for in order to block the Activision acquisition, which is probably not the thing you want to hear when you're going to celebrate, like, you know, the biggest night in games, you know, the biggest celebration of games in the Game Awards or whatever. But he seemed like he just was in a weird mood when they cut to him, and then everything from Microsoft that was shown at this thing were just like kind of just like advertisements between the show of games we already know about. There was no more reveals about their lineup for 2023, like Hellblade, Starfield, Redfall, any of those. You know, because they had a dry year. They had to delay Starfield from 2022 to 2023. A lot of games got delayed. You think they would have at least like taken the opportunity where so many people are watching this thing. I even think Jeff Keighley said like this was like the most watched, like it was like peaking numbers for like Twitch and YouTube or whatever. So you think they would have like had some presence of just like reveal, you know, maybe give another trailer of Starfield or something, or Hellblade, which has been like Hellblade has been at the last 2 Game Awards, I think, and they still have not shown that game since. Like, it just seemed very strange. Do you think the FTC is gonna get away with this? I don't know. Like, there's so much legal loopholes that are going on with this thing, and I have no expertise on this exactly when it comes to how it works. I've been listening to some podcasts. There's a guy named Richard Hogue who does Hogue Law, like a podcast, and he's been focusing very heavily. He has expertise in this very subject, and he's been focusing very heavily on the Activision debacle, or like the whole thing that's going on between Sony and Microsoft, like the fight between them. So I feel like if you look him up on YouTube, he usually has very great analysis of what's going on with this thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it makes me wonder if that's the reason why, because I know people were having a theory of the reason why there was no Xbox like announcements or any like trailers or anything is because they're trying to play into the like the lawsuits favor, where they can show that they have no, because I think what they're trying to do is that they're trying to show that they stand no competition if they don't get they can't acquire Activision, and that it won't be fair for them if to compete with Sony if they're not allowed to have this. And I think by having Phil Spencer be quiet and not reveal anything, I think the theory is that they're trying to make it seem, they're trying to show that the FTC or to the regulators or whatever, or you know, whoever's going to be judging this whole thing, they're trying to show that they have that they're kind of like the underdogs, while Sony gets to reveal, you know, Death Stranding 2 and, you know, Horizon DLC and you know, have all this big presence at the Game Awards in contrast. So I don't know. I don't know what the strategy is, but it seems kind of convenient that it just seems very strange that they didn't show anything, and it's too much of a coincidence at the same time that the FTC is suing them on the same day, and that they're going through all these legal shenanigans.
You can ride the manta ray around just for fun if you like.
All right, let's do that. Let me say maybe later.
Okay. By the way, if you see Bianca around, can you tell her to meet me here? I promised I'd give her scuba lessons once the sharks were gone.
Ooh, Hunter and Bianca. All right,
You can ride the manta ray around. Have fun.
Let's ride the manta ray before Hunter rides Bianca. Hey. Oh, here's some more gems. I think if I get the seaweed here, oh, there's all our gems. Beautiful. I think there's a skill point if I get all the seaweed. Let's try it. Disney can buy Fox, but Microsoft buying Activision. But that's the thing I was thinking of. I was like, Disney has control over Marvel, all of Fox's broadcasting, all of Fox's intellectual property, Star Wars. There's just so much there's so much like consolidation between all these like weird inconsistent like properties that they own, and that was allowed somehow. but I guess this is not. I mean, Activision is a huge company, so I get that, but and Activision is willing to be sold. Like they said it themselves that they'll fight to get to be bought. I mean, that's what I meant. Yeah, to be bought. They want to be bought by Microsoft. And in a way, it's like for us, it's like skill point, beautiful. It's like, do we want? Well, is it that bad if Microsoft owns them, or will it leave even more dangerous companies like Tencent to take control of to acquire Activision or whatever? Because that would be worse if Tencent did it. That's a company that you don't want to be bought by. It's just no good. Maybe later.
Okay.
I think okay, so I got everything. I got the skull point. Let's get out of here. Yeah, we don't need monopolies. But I feel like Microsoft is like the best case scenario if there is to be a monopoly, if they were to buy Activision. But at the same, but it's just like, I don't know. I just wish. In an ideal world, I just want Activision to stay independent. I want them to get their shit together too, like, stop harassing their employees and creating a hostile work environment. I don't know if Microsoft buying them can alleviate that by getting rid of Bobby Kotick and all these kind of scummy people at the top. But I don't know. I guess all we can do is just wait for Wumpa League to come out and be grateful that exists. Alright, let's get to the next area. Let's try to go here real quick. Crystal Islands. This is where Moneybags ran to, by the way. He said he was going to go to the haiku place, the swamp, I think, to do poetry, but I saw him running here and I could have sworn he still is going to, like... Maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I feel like he's going to make us pay for something here. And that's going to be strange, because we just whooped his ass last episode. This music, by the way, is very Spyro 1. The way it's... I mean, it has that little Spyro 2, Spyro 3, like, throwing in, like, a weird animal voice. It's a little experimental in that sense, but this very much does sound like a Spyro 1 soundtrack. There's a turtle. Okay, let's let that turtle live.
Spyro, don't tell anyone, but we were stolen some magic from the sorceress. We're hiding here whilst we practice using it. Unfortunately, we've had a bit of an accident and turned everything into crystal, and it seems to have aggravated the indigenous creatures.
Unfortunately, everything but it's called Crystal Islands. Why? I don't know.
I really think I'm beginning to get the hang of this magic malarkey.
Malarkey.
Acrobadabar. No. Acrobabadoo. No, that isn't right. Just hold on a minute, I'll get it.
Hehe.
I really think I'm beginning to get the hang of Acrobadabar.
Okay. We got 3 dialogue messages out of that one, at least. Oh. Oh, I thought I could charge that guy. Okay, now I know. What is this, a beaver bat? By the way, cat bats originated from Spyro 2. So for there to... Oh my god, I forgot I keep thinking he's a crystal that I can just, like, shatter him with my horns, but... What do I know? But yeah, cat bats came from Spyro 2, so to see a cat bat character in, like, I know it's just a different type, it's just a different, it's just a coincidence, but, it's kind of funny. And here's the thing: can Spyro be in Crash Bandicoot in Crash Team Rumble in any way? Does his movesets lend itself as a platformer to Crash Bandicoot's style? That's something I'm wondering. Do you think it can? I mean, I think it can. But I feel like they're gonna have to change some stuff because, for instance, say like I want to do a head bash, which is like a body slam or what, in a way. There's kind of a cooldown between each slam here. I can't just like it's one. I can't go one. Like they would. So I don't know what the rate of Crash using his body slam is. I don't know if it's slower or faster, but I don't know. Like, is every character going to be different in how they control it? I imagine so, right? And maybe there's like a class system of types of characters. Cause like I imagine Tawna's gonna have her grappling hook in some way. So maybe she'll have some more of a range attack. Coco's probably gonna have similar moves to Crash. Oh, these beaver bats. They're bullying the... I guess Embryo can become like a Hulk type character, and obviously Cortex is going to control the way he controls. So yeah, I guess whatever characters they bring into this, they're going to play differently. But that's the thing that we have to worry about too, is if this is going to be a multiplayer focused game, or it's going to have this competition focus, how do they balance the overpowerment of one character over another, or like, you know, the nerfing of one character from another, to balance the game? Like, is it gonna be like PlayStation All-Stars, where there's a Kratos type character where he's completely overpowered and is like the best character in the game, and you really have to like pull your weight if you want to try to beat that character? Or will there be kind of like a cohesive nature to, or dichotomy between all the type of character playstyles? I don't know. That's something to think about too.
Would you like to see a magic trick? Watch carefully. As you can see, there is nothing up my left sleeve and nothing up my right sleeve. But now, with a wave of my hands and the magic word, Alakazam!
Alakazam. Nice. Let's get down here, though, where we have octopi. Thankfully, I could still charge that guy while he was spinning. I have a feeling that there's breakable wool around here. Let's see. What is the most anticipated 2023 game? My most. Well, we know Wumpa League is going to be a thing at 2023 at some point, so that's one game. But the next game that I'm keeping my eye on after God of War, after I'm done with God of War, I think Hogwarts Legacy is actually looks like a really neat game. I know it has a lot of controversy because of, like, you know, J.K. Rowling, and you know, I think it's a shame that the game was booed at the Game Awards when it was announced as one of like the most anticipated game or whatever. It's not like a team of like a whole like studio of developers are working on this game. They have nothing to do with J.K. Rowling. They have families to feed just like anyone else. Why are they being like why can't they separate art from the artist? Like Harry Potter is still going to be a thing regardless of what J.K. Rowling says or does. And honestly, I don't even know exactly what the controversy, like, with J.K. Rowling, isn't she just basically like, as a feminist, saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't she just saying that I don't know. I don't know what she's saying. It's something like, I know it's the thing with, like, you know, the trans thing and everything. But I think what I don't think she's. I feel like people are confusing her as for anti-trans when what she's trying to say is that. I think she's trying to say something else, like where it's like more of like a. I don't know, like I guess I don't want to get too much into it because it's just like I don't really know what she said. But from what I've heard from like other people, it's really kind of a little overblown. But I don't know. I don't know what she said. But regardless, you know, regardless of what she has said or hasn't said, Harry Potter is totally separate from her at this point, I think it's blown up, like, you know, there's a whole theme park in Disney or in Universal or wherever it is now, and I don't know if it's Disney World or whatever. There's a whole Harry Potter world or whatever. There's all these movies, all the books, like, it's so much bigger now than the author. So I don't know. I think it's just an innocent Harry Potter game. You're not even really playing as, like, you're just playing as, like, you know, in the Harry Potter universe or whatever. I don't know. I think the game looks cool. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. From what I've seen, but I don't know. I just think it's kind of unfair how the developers get treated because of what her stance may be on something. I don't know. Yeah. And I remember the PS1 games were, like, I didn't own them, my cousins did, but they were kind of cool.
You want to see the trick again? Well, alright. But I want you to know this isn't as easy as it looks. Alakazam!
Alakazam. Speaking of Harry Potter, we got Dumbledore helping us. Oh my god, I keep charging this guy. But yeah, that's the one game. I'm pretty sure, like, if I was a betting man, I would say Spider-Man 2 is coming out in 2023. I don't think Wolverine is, but I have a feeling that Spider-Man 2 is, since they said it was. They said it was coming out in 2023. Obviously, we always know delays are a thing that can happen. But I don't know. I have faith that Spider-Man can be a presence. Spider-Man 2, yeah. I'm gonna go this way.
All this magic is just misdirection, you know? Which is why I'm going to start that whirlwind over there. Abracadabra!
But I can't think of any other games at the moment. But I have a feeling that we're in store for a good year for 2023.
Okay, I'll show you again. If you watch carefully, maybe you'll be able to see how it's done. Abracadabra!
Okay. Fantastic Federico. Let's let him do that again. I want to get these gems here. But so far, I have to say, PS5 has been good to us. I think it's had a stronger start than PS4 did. You know, 2020 was Returnal and... Was it Returnal? No, Returnal was 2021. 2020 was Miles Morales, Astro Boy, or Astrobot. Those are the, you know, and obviously I always give a pass to the first year of a console launch because, you know, there's not always going to be too many games to, but those were really good games to play right from the get-go. What was that? The only ones for? I mean, I picked up Control Ultimate Edition, even though that was a 2019 game, but I think that game came out. I think that was a good game to get right off the bat of PS5's first year. Then you have 2021, which was Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart and Returnal, in terms of Sony games. And then 2022 was Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok and Stray being exclusive. So we're getting a little bit better. I feel like 2023, like, I think it's either gonna match 2022 or it's gonna be better.
Okay,
In terms of
I'll
Sony
show
stuff.
you again. If you watch carefully, maybe you'll be able to see how it's done. Abracadabra!
And it's also really good that we're getting Wumpa League in 2023. Because when you think about it, well, let's think about it. The first year was of PS5 is 2020 technically because it's the end of 2020. Then 2021, 2022, 2023. If you look at PS4, it was 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, then 2017. So we're already 1 year ahead of when the Insane Trilogy came out for the PS4. The Insane Trilogy came out in 2017. That's between 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's more or less 4 years. But this we're basically getting Wumpa League. I keep saying Wumpa League. Crash Team Rumble 3 years into it. So depending on how long PS5's lifespan is going to be, maybe this is the train again of us getting really good games in the back half, or in the later half, for Activision stuff, So that'll be interesting. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Because when you think of PS4, like for Sony stuff, it was in 2013 I got Killzone Shadowfall. It was an okay game. 2014 I didn't get any Sony game. I still have no Sony game for that year, even though I think there was like The Order 1886 or something like that, and Bloodborne, or I forget when. Oh, Bloodborne came out 2015, I think, but still, nothing that really caught my attention. In terms of Sony stuff, and then 2015, the only thing was MLB 15 The Show, and that's a sports game. It was a Sony exclusive, but still not really what we weren't getting, like the big PlayStation Studios stuff yet. And then 2016 is when we got Uncharted 4, and then from then on, that's when the big banger years started happening. So I feel like we're getting those. We're actually in a better position for the banger years in the PS5 generation than we were in the PS4 generation.
I've been working on a
The Astounding Arturo.
but this bear keeps spoiling it. I've been working on a great.
Oh, this bear's gotta go. Before I talk to this guy, let's take out these beavers and whatever's in here. There's gotta be a breakable wall in here. I have a feeling there is. Correct me if I'm wrong. No? Nothing? Alright. Oh. This is not where I wanted to be. Hold on. There we are. We have everything in this pool. We do. Alright, let's see what his magic trick is. I am expecting bangers next year, 2020. Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt. And I think Wolverine might be coming a bit late. And I don't blame it if they do, because they already gave us... Insomniac gave us Rift Apart, Miles Morales. They gave us Spider-Man Remastered. They ported the Spider-Man to PC. They have Spider-Man 2 coming. It's just like they're really working their asses off. So if Wolverine needs more time, take as much time as they need, I say.
Well, I suppose I could show you my new trick. As long as you promise not to tell the great Zamboni, he steals all my best work. Alakazam!
Here we go. There we are. Got this. Got that portal. Okay. Let's take this guy out. Everything's good there. Get this thing. Insomniac is they really are carrying them from the start. They're definitely the most prolific developer as of right now, I think.
Here, you can have this. I was going to use it in a trick, but my magic, it just keeps bouncing off.
Lloyd. Uh-oh. Like Lloyd Braun. Okay, so he's gonna... wait, why is he there? Why did he have to go to return home? We're not using any more hot air balloons or rockets or anything, right? Is he gonna be used for the super bonus round in some way? I don't know. I don't know why he just ran out of here. What do we have here? We have a chest with a key that needs... Alright, there's the beginning. What's this way? Oh, we have Bentley the Yeti. Okay, so I think next time I'll do this. Since we got the main hub world of Crystal Islands out of the way. We're gonna get into this Superfly power-up. Actually, there's an egg right there. Let's go get it. But yeah. Meanie. Alright, that's our 130th egg. Alright, so, yeah, next year we'll continue the... I mean, next year. Next time, we will continue this. Peppa Pig, it's been a pleasure. Anyone out there who wants to like, comment, or subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. You can subscribe to Kev Plays on YouTube, and follow me on Twitter at Let's Watch Series. Other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, keep a clear head, and let's get ready to rumble, because Crash Team Rumble is a thing. It exists. We're back at it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this is all about. But I'm gonna manage my expectations of what this thing is, because I'm gonna keep my eye I'm gonna stay cautious of what it is, but I'm gonna be open-minded at the same time. But I'm excited to see Crash's back. Anyway. Yes, I'll see you guys next time. Keep on gaming. Peace out.